Security Officer Vraltek had responded to 847 disturbances during his 12 cycles aboard orbital station Zenith 9. He'd broken up Krillian mating disputes, confiscated contraband plasma weapons, and once talked down a methane breather who'd threatened to decompress an entire sector. Nothing, however, had prepared him for what awaited him at O'Malley's orbital tap. The call had come in as a noise disturbance with potential financial fraud. Standard protocol suggested a fine and dispersal order. But as Vraltek's forelegs carried him down Corridor 7 Beta, the cacophony grew increasingly musical. The bar's entrance slid open, and Vraltek's compound eyes struggled to process the scene. Approximately 40 beings, representing at least 12 different species, swayed in synchronized motion, appendages raised, vocal cords producing what could charitably be called singing. At the center of this chaos stood 3 humans standing on tables leading the bizarre ceremony, with the enthusiasm of conquering generals. "Show me the way to go home," they bellowed, and the aliens echoed back with varying degrees of accuracy. A Tellurian's translator chip was smoking from overuse. 2 Graxians had linked their tentacles and were attempting something the humans called swaying. Vraltek activated his comm. "Dispatch, I'm going to need backup, and possibly a xenopsychologist." The shorter human, her name tag read O'Malley, spotted him first. Her face broke into what his database identified as a smile, though it triggered his predator warning instincts. "Officer, perfect timing. We were just getting to the educational portion of the evening." Before Vraltek could respond, one of the other humans, a tall male with facial hair, thrust a datapad into his primary manipulator. "You see, what the Galactic Revenue Service doesn't want you to know is that Section 47B clearly states, I'm here about the noise violation," Vraltek interrupted, his translator adding an edge of authority he didn't quite feel. "Noise? This isn't noise, mate," the third human said, his words slightly slurred. "This is cultural exchange. We're teaching them 99 bottles of synth alcohol on the wall." A Zyglothian priest, who should have been in evening meditation, raised what passed for a hand. "We are currently at 73 bottles, officer. It is the most magnificent mathematical exercise I have ever encountered." Vraltek's headache was developing a headache. "You're teaching sacred caste members drinking songs? And tax optimization strategies," added a normally stoic Hexarian accountant, waving a glass of something that was definitely not legal in this sector. "Did you know that if you register your ship under a shell corporation in the Andromeda Neutral Zone, you can reduce your transport fees by 47%? O'Malley draped an arm over Vraltek's shoulder carapace, an invasion of personal space that would get anyone else restrained. "Listen, Varel. Can I call you Varel? Here's the thing. Station regulations say we can't be excessively loud after 2300 hours, right?" "Correct. But it also says that cultural education events are exempt from noise ordinances, and we're clearly engaged in cultural education." She gestured grandly at the room. "These fine beings are learning about Earth's rich traditions of recreational inebriation and creative accounting." "That's not," Vraltek started, but the bearded human cut him off. "Section 12, paragraph 8 of the station charter. I've got it right here, see?" He zoomed in on the legalese. "Any gathering for the purposes of cross-species cultural enrichment shall be granted extended operating hours and noise allowances." Vraltek scanned the document. Technically, horrifyingly, they were correct. Furthermore, the third human continued, now producing a second datapad. "Regarding your concerns about tax discussion, station management specifically encourages the free exchange of financial information to promote economic growth." Memo 445J, dated 2 months ago. "We're not teaching tax evasion," O'Malley added with a grin that suggested the exact opposite. "We're teaching creative financial planning. Huge difference. One's illegal. The other's just aggressive accounting." A xylophane trader, whose species was known for their rigid honesty, raised a tentacle. "The human Kevin has explained that my 17 cargo vessels should technically be classified as personal transport for tax purposes. This will save my clan 3 million credits annually. That can't possibly be legal," Vraltek protested. "Show me where it says it isn't," Kevin, the bearded human, challenged. Vraltek scrolled through his regulation database. And scrolled further. The loophole existed. It was absurd, probably unintentional, but it existed. "Now," O'Malley said, guiding him toward the bar, Since you're here for cultural education purposes, can I interest you in something called a boilermaker? And let me tell you about how depreciation schedules work for multi-system security contractors. An hour later, Vraltek found himself on a table, his translator cranked to maximum volume, teaching the assembled crowd a Krillian war chant that his people sang before battle. Around him, humans and aliens alike stamped their feet, tentacles, hooves, and other appendages in rhythm. His backup, Officers Quinn and Thorax, had arrived 20 minutes ago. They were now deep in conversation with Kevin about something called offshore havens and cryptocurrency tumbling. O'Malley passed him another drink, his third, or perhaps fourth. The humans had a saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Though in this case, he suspected it was more accurate to say, if you try to stop humans, they'll find 17 legal loopholes make you complicit, and somehow you'll enjoy it. The Zaglothian priest started a new round. 73 bottles of synthalcohol on the wall. The chorus of voices, biological and synthesized, rang through the station's corridors. In the morning, Vraltek would have to file a report explaining why he hadn't shut down the gathering. He'd cite the cultural exchange exemption. He'd mention the community building. He'd conveniently forget to mention the comprehensive tax evasion seminar. But tonight he was learning that humans possessed a terrifying superpower, the ability to turn any situation into both a party and a financial planning opportunity. And somehow, against all odds and regulations, they made it completely legal. Take one down, pass it around, he sang, his voice joining the cosmic choir. Somewhere in the galaxy, accountants and lawyers trembled without knowing why.